And now,
So,
Disneyland
can they not hear
Paris
this?
News.
Oh, they can hear this. You got a friend in me.
We've got our friend back.
I'm sad.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans, and welcome to another Disneyland Paris show. I'm Lucy, this is Hugh, this is Chris. We've got Chris in the house. Chris is back in the spot previously occupied with Bonnie. He's come to reclaim his throne. And just because he likes to keep up with traditions, we've spent the last 20 minutes panicking slightly about tech. And then that's given you this sort of deflated
He looks all like ER.
very ER vibes going on at the moment.
Hi there.
I think we should start with an early cup, drink or something.
I'm all right. Something weird's happening. All the microphones are just completely not working. What's happening is you don't touch the show for a few weeks, and when you come back, none of it works. And I don't entirely understand why, but I did notice a problem the other day. So I'm worried that it might be the Mac that's playing up, but I guess we'll see. I just need to play around with it a bit, figure it out, get it all working again. I'm sure it'll be okay. But today we're on the Mac audio, which is why it'll sound a bit different to usual. But
Sounds
it'll be
right.
fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. It's fine. This technology these days, they have good microphones anyway.
People are going to tell us it sounds better than ever.
Well,
and
yeah,
then,
probably.
And then we're really good. But I keep getting the urge to lean into something that isn't there.
Yeah, it's really disconcerting.
I might just put my mic here anyway.
One of the things that I will say is I think when you guys are doing the audio on the phone, when you're watching it on your phone or you're watching it on the telly, it sounds great. When you then translate that to a podcast, it doesn't. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. Anyway, here we are. We're here. I'm going to be happier because we're talking Disney, aren't we?
We are doing.
Like I always say, we're like the Millennium Falcon. We've got it where it counts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is, everyone has been missing Tech Chat with Chris.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, Gavin said something lovely, just to, as we allow one presenter to bow out as another one returns. Gavin Sylvester just said, Bonnie has been fantastic the last 2 weeks. She's a funny and mature young girl, and you should be very proud of her. We are.
I completely and utterly agree, and you could
She's got like this
replace
in the corner.
me with her with no issues whatsoever because she's been
That's
absolutely
not what
brilliant.
we meant. That's
I'm
not what
pointing
we
at
meant.
it, but you can't see me doing
That's
that.
not what we meant. Yeah.
No, no, but you could though, honestly.
She's always in the room, and I think that we need to set up a Bonnie cam, just to give you more technology to worry about.
Just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think
what I will say, Bonnie, is this: in the last 3 shows, I've seen how much you've grown into doing this role, and it's been absolutely brilliant. I wish that Lucas would do the same because he doesn't. Honestly,
Because he doesn't.
He's hard work.
Oh,
It's really
It's
hard
okay.
work.
I just have to segue from there into me and Bonnie went to a dance competition today, and one of the nice things about being a dance teacher and going to dance competitions is we have this little group of dance teacher friends, but we only see each other at competitions once a year or so, but we've been seeing each other for 20 years, so we get these weird fragmented friendships. But one of them said hi to me today, and then Hugh came in to help set up behind me, and she went, oh my God, I just got really starstruck because I saw Hugh. I've been watching your podcast every week, so I didn't know she was a podcast watcher. But she got really starstruck.
What's
And
this
then-
playing in her head?
And then I think Bonnie heard this conversation and popped up by my elbow, and she was saying,
I didn't hear.
Oh, we've just got to the bit at Christmas where you're wearing the outfit that you wore when you were 3, isn't she? That was the last vlog she
I said
watched.
as a joke, do I look taller in real life? But it was just a joke. But her face lit up and she said, you too! So I must look quite short on here.
Oh,
Stacey
my word.
Dickinson from the Keldon School of Dance. She's an absolute babe, and she's now a viewer of the show.
I'm
Hi.
5'10", which is the average height for a UK male. Are you about 5'10"?
5'11".
Okay.
So I'm above average, but
All right,
not in
boys.
my family.
No,
But
that's not
so
nice
our
being
mutual friend Ben and I, he was telling me how he's taller than me once, and we stood back to back, and he's 5'10" and I'm 5'11".
I met Eddie Redmayne on Tuesday night.
Yeah, all right.
Name drop. And I thought, he's tall. But actually I looked it up, he's 6 foot, which isn't that tall.
No.
But when I saw him, I thought he was about 6'2", 6'3".
He's very
But
slight, so he
I
gets
must have
that.
I must have just been like, you know, when you meet a A-list celebrity and you just kind of shrink and you feel like a little worm. I think that's what it was. It was very nice though.
Is that what happens when you meet a celebrity?
We met the whole entire gang from Orleans in Florida, and they're all really tall. And it was like, you know, when the Na'vi meet the humans in Avatar, and it was like there was us three like that,
Yeah.
and then the other three. Were
Well,
like,
Quincy's about 5'11",
yeah,
maybe even pushing 6 foot. Sage is really tall, isn't he?
yeah, he's over 6 foot.
2
And
or 6.
Emma's
something.
tall as well, much taller than me.
Well, yeah, tall for a lass.
Tall for a lass. I'm
Yeah.
small for a lass. 4 feet.
Yeah, I was at a party
Size
by the way. That's why I met Eddie Redmayne. It's the swankiest party I've ever been to.
Who else did you see?
David Baddiel, Jeremy Vine, Natalie Cassidy, and Rita Chakrabarti.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, and
He won't be hanging out with me and you much longer.
and Adam
Chris.
Hargreaves, the son of Roger Hargreaves, who writes and draws
yeah.
Mr. Men.
Mr. Men, yeah.
Yeah, he was with us all night. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
So who's with us tonight, Hugh?
Yeah.
good.
More importantly, if you think Eddie Redmayne's good,
Who are they?
I just gently nudge Lucy then, like pray silence for the jingle. Not mine, your.
Give my jingle the room it deserves.
let it breathe.
First in the chat today was
I already feel happier.
John. John P says, "Hey guys, good to have the full crew back together. Currently nursing a bad back that's had me feeling blue the last couple of days, so I'm in need of some top bants from you guys tonight, please." And we started off with such sadness. But look at us now. Well, I hope you feel better soon, John, and I hope we cheer you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Joey says, "Hey everyone, can't wait to hear all about Chris's upcoming trip."
Oh, am I going to Disney?
Yeah.
Am I?
When?
14 days from now we'll be setting off.
But 2 weeks away. Just wondering, other than the Disney official website, which sites do you use to book park tickets and trips? Looking for next year, says Joey. Hope you feel better soon, John.
Well, I have always booked via Magic Breaks because the first time I did it, I didn't know what I was doing, so I booked via Magic Breaks. And I have to say, my experience with them has always been absolutely fantastic. They've rebooked for me at the drop of a hat. They were brilliant during COVID when we booked the mega holiday that never was, and in how they reshuffled things and sorted things out. When Sequoia shut and we got moved to Newport Bay and we had to cancel it and move it again, and all those different times have always been absolutely brilliant. The answer in the drop of a hat. I highly, highly recommend them.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
John says, "Thanks, Joey." And Andrew, I'm just reading out every little incidental bit of chat at the moment. Andrew says, Andrew H. "Evening all. I've been a bit unwell the last few days." Another one, Andrew. I'm tuning in with a glass of wine and a slice of cake.
Nice.
What kind of cake, Andrew?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't miss those those are the finer details we really need to know. What kind of cake?
And we will be judging you if it's Madeira with double cream.
Cream?
Double cream on a Madeira, yeah.
Interesting.
Custard. You know what?
No.
Custard.
Can I
Not on a
just say something?
Madeira.
I'm
Not
not-
on a Madeira.
I'm not a fan of custard and cake.
Egg soup?
It has to be a pudding. It has to be a warm pudding. You want custard on a warm pudding.
Or on an apple pie,
on a
yeah. But
crumble?
I'm oh yeah, or a crumble. I'm not a fan of your jam roly polies and that sort of. That's not my jam, man.
Well, I'll put custard on anything. I'd put it on my grandma.
Laura's the same. She absolutely would.
John says, "You and me both, Andrew. Hope you feel better soon." There's lots of poorly people. Ruthie says, "Hooray, the gang are back." Ruthie says, "I'm also not feeling too well." Just joking. No. Do you know what? She might actually go on to say this. I'll calm down. "Hooray, the gang are back. Had a long day taking daughters to dance exams and drama club performances. Need some fun Disneyland Paris chat to unwind."
I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Or your joy. I feel your joy.
Yeah.
Jen says, "Hey Disney pals, hope you all feel much better after a dose of 37 Disney Street. An injection."
I'm already feeling better. I've said that already, but
37
even
Street.
more so.
Hello to Jimmy. Guess what Jimmy's doing? I don't know if you've heard about
Is
it.
Is he
waving
waving
big
pink hand?
Pink hand.
Pink what?
Pink hand.
You got there before me and then I had to like stall.
Emily is here. Evening, lovely people. I was up till 5 a.m. checking in for our upcoming Disney cruise to Spain, so I look forward to catching up with the podcast in the morning. Okay. Take care. God bless.
See you later.
Sail.
And welcome if
Well.
you're back tomorrow.
Gavin says, yeah, we've seen that. Thank you for saying so about Bonnie, Gavin. Julia says, morning all. 9 days to DLP for us. It's going to be hot, hot, hot. Any tips for DLP in the heat, anyone?
I think I've got a video on that. Just to plug it. I do. I'm going to look it up. I think I've got a video going, tips for dealing with the weather in Disney parks.
Quite possibly. My answer to it, though, would be siestas are great. I would say that.
Yeah.
Go do your morning stuff, and then in the heat of the sun around 2 o'clock, go back to your hotel room, have a bit of a break, maybe go for a swim, and then head back out again around 7 o'clock when the sun's starting to just come down a little bit and it's a bit more bearable.
Yeah.
Plan your day with know where the air conditioned shows are. So you've got like Mickey's Magic. You've got, what else do you have? You've got, see, the thing is with the ones in the studios is you have to queue outside in the sun, and that gets a bit miserable, doesn't it? Well, you're under a canopy, but still you're outside. But kind of know where the shows are and alternate through your day.
Ooh, I know. Just go on Pirates of the Caribbean over and over again, because it's quite a chill queue, is that? Because it's in like a cave.
That is good. Also, I would say wear suntan lotion.
Oh, yes.
I know it's obvious. I realise that. I realise it's obvious, but do it. On a hat, if you're bald like me, wear a hat. Hat is a good thing to wear. And I would also say have water with you, bottle of water. You can always use that squirty dilute juice if you want to get rid of the flavour of eggs from the taps, but you make sure you use those. Also, they quite often put misters out around the drinks fountains, don't they?
Blokes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or misters.
Misters.
Fans, electric.
Get the misters out.
We've just ordered some of those fans that go around your neck.
I was on about wanting those when I was in Florida.
I think we're going to look like, I was going to swear then, like fan people.
But honestly, we do take electric.
Oh, I see.
We do take electric fans to places. But I find that the hand fans that are like £2 at the counter at, Quality Save or something are just as good as anything else. Or at the works, I always sell them at the works. So go for fans there. And here's a top tip. This is just to give yourself an extra bit of physical pleasure at the end of your day, is put some after sun in the fridge. Ooh. And then when you get back and your legs are aching and you're all a bit sore, cold after sun all over your bits.
Resist the urge to take your shoes off until you get back to the resort at the latest possible moment. Then give your heels and your feet the squeezing of their life. It's amazing. I thought you were going to say this before, Chris.
No, that's not what I said. And actually, if you go back and you can spell using the sign, I just spell out the word, which could get me in some trouble.
Saw the first letter.
And with what Hugh said, take a fresh pair of socks as well. As in, not a washed pair, a brand new pair that you've never opened before. There's nothing as nice as a brand new pair
I
of
always
socks.
keep one of those back for if I get wet feet.
Oh, best days.
The newest socks. Right, finish off.
This is good.
Oh, yeah.
Any more hot weather tips?
got-
Any more hot weather tips?
Pauline is here,
Shade.
as is Kelfie and Lauren and Ed. Pauline's jealous. I love Eddie Redmayne. Well,
I hear you.
it was lovely. Hilda is here. Welcome back, Chris. Can't wait to hear about your holiday. Bonnie's here under Lucy's name, and Andrew says, Victoria Sponge. Wine and cake, says Hilda. I am not living right.
Buttercream or cream, though, in your Victoria Sponge.
Jen loves a Disney nap. What?
Buttercream or cream in a Victoria Sponge.
Yes.
Which
would
one?
you
I'd say
prefer?
buttercream.
Yes.
Would you?
I'd say buttercream. But to be fair,
Hmm.
I think Victoria sponges are overrated. I know. I do like a carrot cake.
Apologies to all Victorias watching. So Jen loves a Disney nap. Pauline says, we spent the end of July 22nd when it was 30-ish every day. We went to the end of July when it was 30-ish every day. Lots of water, take a break in the middle of the day and stick to the shade.
Yes.
Peppermint foot spray after a long day in the parks is magic, says Jen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Andrew says buttercream. Don't put that on your don't put that on your feet.
We're mixing conversations here.
Matt Frost says, just a quick one about last week in Village Nature. We stayed there last year and it was brilliant. Loads of things to do with Aquamondo and bowling. I would say the rooms needed some TLC. Yeah.
Oh, do they ever?
Exactly the same, yeah.
Yeah.
I had views on some of the things you discussed over the last couple of weeks, but I can't remember what those things were.
Were the views generally that we were all wrong?
I thought
No.
because we only had
Hesitation.
one bit of news today, I was going to do a news roundup of the last 3 weeks, just so we could ask your opinion.
That sounds brilliant, and I can feed in my plans for my trip as well into that, because I think it'll answer some of those questions.
I've got all last few weeks news.
sounds like a plan,
So
innit?
we could do that. We could do that.
That sounds
But
nice.
I am parched.
It's your time. All together. Your tiki 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 cup in your tiki 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 cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage. I'll drink it up from your tiki 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 cup.
No. It's okay. Bonnie, mine's in the fridge. Would you mind getting it?
Oh, that's where it was. Today, Chris and I are having pineapple and orange. Chris has got up because
he go?
is it too strong?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it
too
might.
strong.
To be honest, I thought it would be this time. I make no claim this time that it was going to be just right. I
I
thought
could tell by looking at the colour of it.
this is going to be too strong. Well, I could tell by how much came out of the bottle when I poured it. Chris, we've also got some snacks today, but maybe we should do a bit of news first.
A combination of things has gone to ruin my drink. I had garlic breath, so I cleaned my teeth so that I wouldn't offend the boys. And now minty toothpaste just doesn't mix with strawberry cordial, and it's quite gross.
What you have to do is get a good mouthful of it and swill it about to get rid of the mint flavour, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
Bit of news.
Bit of news.
Yeah, news bong.
So,
That was cool. Thank you very much.
yeah. So the Disneyland Paris have brought back Friends tickets, special Friends tickets. These are tickets that if you are an annual pass holder, you can get somebody who is not an annual pass holder a one-day ticket to go into the park with you. They were a thing back before they revamped the annual passes, and they are a thing again.
Is it a permanent thing this time? Because they've brought him back short term, haven't they? At different seasons. At
Well,
times.
they've said it's available to book online between the second, for dates arriving between the 2nd of July and the 17th of October.
I think that's similar to last year, isn't it?
17th of October, but it hasn't said that it won't renew or one thing or other. There's been speculation as to whether that's just how far ahead you can book or whether that's a limited season thing.
I
We
hope they
will
brought
see.
it back for good.
It's subject to availability and there are limited quantities. They don't mean limited quantities in total, they mean per day. They will only let so many friends in, otherwise they're losing cash. It's exclusive to Disney Pass holders. It's not valid with a temporary pass or anything like that, or for a Disney Pass ages 3 to 11, because these days they do children's passes. I wonder how many you can get per pass holder. Do you know?
Je ne sais pas.
I haven't written that down. Yeah. So if you want to do that for your friends and you are an annual pass holder, you go on the app or you go on DisneylandParis.com and you go to my account, then you go to my Disney Passes, and then there is a link through there. The prices I'm about to bring up for you while these two talk.
I can show you the snack I've got.
Oh, show me the snack you've got.
I got these from Leeds yesterday, and I walked there from near here. I walked all the way to Leeds for my exercise.
Yeah.
And when I got these, the guy said, "Congratulations, you're one of the first in the country." And it's the hot ones, Pringles.
No. Does that mean they might actually be hot, unlike the last time we had hot
Well,
Pringles?
yes, because then I went to Home Bargains. These were £6, and for about £1 or something, I got just the regular hot ones that you can get in UK supermarkets. So these are imported, the hot ones. But then I thought we could do a little comparison.
And I brought this. This is chili cheese, and I can't remember what the name of the place I got it from is, so I can't plug them. But I tasted it at the farmers market I was at, and it was superb. So I thought we need to have some of that.
So, yeah, just got the price up for the tickets. This is why I didn't have them listed, because they're slightly complicated. They come on one of these, heat map calendar things.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see that on there at all, can you? Never mind.
Well, I can hold it closer. I know.
I can't
The same as what you see when you book online for
Yeah.
tickets in general.
So, for example, in July, the most expensive day is, this Wednesday, and that is $72. And the cheapest is this Sunday, which is
Let's guess. 62.
$65. That increases through August when most days are in the 70s, but they are in the low 70s, €72. I said dollars, didn't I? euros. 72 euros a day, 71 euros a day. But then when it goes to September, it goes right down, and you can get, on a weekday in September, you can get as low as 55 euros per day. But it's dynamic pricing, and every day is a slightly different price. So if you are interested, that's ballpark only. Lowest price 55 euros, highest price 72 euros. Just go on and look up what date you want.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. That's my news.
Blimey. Have you seen the Donald Duck Karl Lagerfeld merchandise?
Oh, I have, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's not.
It's Donald with a ponytail. It's really strange.
It's also, it's like luxury branded, and it's like a knockoff Donald
Sorry, Lucy.
on quite kind of like cheap sportswear.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
And as DLP report puts, something like you can guess how expensive these are.
Yeah.
There's some other pictures there.
Who's
here as
Karl
well.
Lagerfeld?
Lagerfeld. Is he a designer or
I
something?
don't know.
The name rings a bell.
There is some products where you can see the price and
German fashion designer.
Yeah.
you can see
That's who he
you
is.
can see the price. But that's just one of those where it's like, it's just a hustle. It's just a hustle. It doesn't look great. Sorry, but some of you may love it, and they'd be like, I plan on getting one of those. And we
Which
just totally
people are there going, take my money? What?
French people. Maybe.
Donald Duck looking like Karl Lagerfeld.
Karl
Take my money.
Lagerfeld might be like, what's the word? A desirable brand.
I'm sure.
In France, in continental Europe.
Yeah, no, but I've heard of it.
Aspirational. That's the word I was looking for.
Just find it funny.
Yeah, I didn't understand what the ponytail was about, but he has one.
Yes.
For Val d'Europe, any Disney shops there, or is it just normal / premium shops? It's just normal / premium shops. It is.
Primark.
Yeah.
Disney there.
It's very much equivalent of, to us it would be Meadow Hall or the White Rose Centre if you're West Yorkshire based. I suppose it would be similar to Westfield or the Trafford Centre elsewhere.
Water.
Blue Water. It's a big shop. Actually, it's not quite as big as Meadow Hall or Blue Water. It's a medium to large sized mall with all those kind of shops.
Milton Keynes.
But it's fun because they're not all familiar shops. They are chain shops, but they're not all chain shops that we have in the UK. So we quite like a mooch, don't we? And the Auchan, the supermarket, is epic.
Yes, well, we'll be going
Absolutely epic.
It's like 2 floors, that supermarket.
It's
Supermarché,
2 floors.
yeah.
But
Mega market.
But also like the
Hypermarché?
hypermarché. Also the bakery section is like a floor, is like 3 times the size of, let's say, a Topshop. It's just ridiculously
The
massive.
gluten-free section is supposed to be pretty massive as well.
The stationery aisle, there were like 4 stationery aisles. I was in heaven.
My word.
What is it? Come
But
on.
then you've got to stock up and take it home with you, haven't you?
This
Have room for
seems
that.
to be a female thing, does a fetish for stationery, but come on, some of you out there must share it. A good notebook and pen set. You can't beat it.
Don't know why this is reminding me of that, but I got a message from my Uber yesterday saying you get 50% off if you book in Eurostar, sorry. Between but in the next few days or something, but you can book quite a long way in advance. And I thought of you guys because you're thinking about booking October. It might be worth a look, but who knew? I know Uber do everything now, but I keep getting notifications about stuff, and it made me think actually maybe I should be looking at flights and things as well on there because they seem to get good deals. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We need to get on. We're very confidently telling everyone all the time we're going again in October. We need to get around to booking something, man.
I think when I looked,
Don't we?
I looked for Halloween week, and I think it was going to be between £109 and £124 return per person,
But
which I
we're
didn't think was bad for Eurostar.
able to go the week before because Bonnie has 2 weeks holiday October.
Oh yeah,
So we can get some
I heard that
cheapies.
last week actually.
Cheapies.
John says, with Buzz Laser Blasty closing for the Laser Blasty? Laser Blasty?
Laser Blaster.
Closing for refurb for the rest of the year. New targets, new guns being put in. Didn't know this. I'm excited for Lucy versus Hugh rematch with the refurbished tech.
It doesn't look like it'll be open when we go in October, though. Your boys will be disappointed about that.
Yeah,
won't
but
they, the
we knew
laser
about that already, so it's been planned for a while, hasn't it? But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? They're putting new blasters in, and replacing some of the lighting and sprucing it up and everything. Because they spruced it up not long ago, didn't they? But actually, I say not long ago, during COVID, they did a paint.
They did a paint job.
But they got rid of all they put LED lighting in as well, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
They did all the lighting stuff as well for it.
I am a sucker for gamification in the Disney parks. So anything, we're talking like Spidey webs and all that stuff. But this is kind of DLP related because we're doing it so we can travel to Paris. We've started as a family doing Duolingo. And I've really, really realised how susceptible I am to anything that's gamified in that way. Like, I know social media is a problem for a lot of people and screen time and all that stuff. I can manage that. But when it's like obsessive gamification, I'm absolutely terrible. And because Duolingo is kind of like nutritional...
Yeah.
You can kid yourself that it's okay to do. However, we have been doing it so that when we go, partly because Bonnie's starting high school and she'll be doing French, we want to give her a head start, but partly because it's the country we travel to the most and we kind of want to be able to speak it. So as another topic of conversation, I'd be interested to know how many people try and speak French when they're there. Do they successfully? Parler français? Or Disneyland Paris?
When I took my new job, and suddenly had an Italian team, I decided to use Duolingo to try and learn Italian, and I did it for a whole year, but never got the opportunity to practice, and therefore eventually I got to a point where I just thought, well, this is pointless because I don't feel like I'm learning anything from it. And so I knew occasional phrases and little bits, but none of it sank in, and it's just completely gone. On the flip side, I did a BSL course last week, British Sign Language course last week, for 3 hours, and I came away with loads of stuff, and I'm trying my best to keep practicing it and using it.
The thing about that is, it's if you're a visual person, I think I could learn sign language really easily, whereas...
a lot of it's common sense, like not common sense, but a lot of it relates to what you're talking about. It's actions that kind of help with what you're talking about, so... It's
intuitive.
Yeah.
And I know a bit of... BSL, and again I think it might be my dance brain as well, whereas I pick up all that quite easily.
But I've heard that Duolingo's not that great for that because of it's more of it's almost like a game, and it's not really the best way to learn a language.
It's good for brushing up though. So when I've looked at German, for instance, it brings things back to me, and that's been really helpful. So and again I did a little bit of French for a while as well because I paid for it because I'm an idiot. I paid for it. So I could do 3 languages at once, which might be why I didn't learn anything.
Andrew says everyone learns to hate the Duolingo owl in the end.
It is one of the naggiest apps I've ever had. Like sending you emails going, you haven't played today.
Like sometimes the owl app is sweating, meaning you get into it, but sometimes it looks angry.
Yeah.
And I think, well, if you're going to be like that, no.
He changes on the home screen.
Yeah.
And the other night we were going,
What?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Narrowing the eyes.
I do feel like I am getting very good at doing Duolingo as opposed to getting very good at speaking French. Do you know what I mean? I'm learning to like hack the games a bit.
Yeah.
As opposed to learning it. Anyway.
Jen loves stationery. She loves stationery.
Yes.
Sarah
Jen.
says, "Hi everyone, I haven't been on live in ages." We know Sarah.
Yay.
We know. But still listen every week on the podcast. Just booked DLP in 3 weeks for me, my 6-year-old daughter, her 6-year-old friend, and his mum. Can't wait.
Oh, yay.
That sounds cute.
Yeah.
That does sound really, really nice. Also, a last minute booking, so I'd be interested to know how that went for you. Did you get a good price? Were you able to get all the things you wanted? Did you try book restaurants last minute? Let us know. That's interesting.
Hannah says, I've tried to speak French whilst there, but my pronunciation clearly isn't as good, so I ended up getting bemused looks.
See, I have successfully spoken it while I'm there, successfully to the point where people then reply to me in French, and at that point the conversation
Je
falls
n'ai pas le
down.
français.
Yeah.
It's nice when you can.
Je suis désolé.
It's nice when you can do an entire transaction in
Yeah,
French
God, yeah.
and then come away.
I think
Merci, au revoir.
my goal is kind of an interaction of 6 sentences, as in I say 3, they say 3, we understand each other. I think if I can get to that level, I'll consider it a conversation. But it generally goes, I say something confidently in French, they answer me, I look blank. That's generally how the speaking goes.
Ruth is on 655 days on Duolingo.
Kick it, Ruth. Kick it.
So what now, guys?
Well, I've got the let's do a little recap for Chris thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got talking about Chris's upcoming trip, so we could fire questions at him.
Yeah.
There's some basics that we know. Well, let's start with the basics so that everybody, I know that we have spoken about it before, but it's good to have a recap so that everybody's on the same page with us so that you're able to then follow questions with him. How are you getting there?
We are driving to Disney. Shall I give you the full itinerary of what's happening? Right, so we're driving down from Leeds to Ashford and we're having an overnight there. And then we're going to cross on Le Shuttle. And we're going to drive all the way down to Paris that day. That night we're staying at a little hotel. I don't know which one, I can't remember. In Bussy St George. And then we're straight in the following day. So we're staying 2 nights at Davy Crockett. So we've got 3 full days in the parks. And on the last night, we're staying at the B&B hotel, so that we can get up and go the following day. But basically, rather than having an extra day in the Disney hotel and therefore getting an extra day in the parks, because that would have screwed everything up, we're sticking with what we've got, but we're having an extra day at the end so we can actually have a full 3 days in the park. Then we're getting in our car and we're driving right across Brussels, Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium.
That's the one. Yeah, I've done that about 4 times today. We're driving across Belgium. Thank you, doing it. Round Ghent.
Yeah.
Round Antwerp, into the Netherlands, and we're going to stay at Cash something or other. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, we're Euro camping for 5 nights, and on the Sunday of those 5 days, we're going to go to Efteling for the day. And then we're driving all the way back to the Euro Tunnel, Le Shuttle, to come back again, and we're going to do all that in a wunny. So it's 4.5 hours back to Le Shuttle, and then 4.5 hours back home afterwards. But the reason that we're doing that is because we looked to get the ferry, and when we first looked, we thought, 400 quid, that's not bad. We'll get the ferry back to Hull, and that'd be nice. And we can pick up the dog from my mother-in-law's on the way back. Perfect. And then when we came to book it, it gone up to 650 quid.
Yeah.
So we thought, no, we're not going to do that. So we're actually going to, when we go back, we're going to go, when we come through out of Belgium, we're going to stay on the coast and we're going to drive past Arromanches. It's where you can see all the D-Day landing floats and stuff all still there, and have a bit of a look at all that stuff and take a leisurely trek back. So that's the overall plan of what we're doing.
That
Bit of a car trip.
I was going to ask you that a nugget at a time, and I asked you how you were getting there, and you've just you spilt the whole stew on the floor.
Oh, there you go.
That's good. No, it's good. We know what to expect now. We're very interested in Efteling.
Me too.
You've worried me about the ferry because we looked at the ferry as one of our options for October, and it was looking quite all right. But I've left. That was about 3 weeks ago, and I haven't looked again. So, yeah, that's a lot of driving. How are you boys with the driving?
They're all right mostly. Yeah, I mean we can do 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours quite easily. We'll stop regularly, make sure they're okay and everything. But the drive down to Paris is only 3.5 hours once you've crossed Calais, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
The longest drive I think we'll have will be that last day when we're coming home. But obviously you get to stop off for a bit, and we'll have a couple of hours at Le Shuttle. Hopefully not more than that, like we did last time we did it. And then I think on the way home, once we get back into the UK, we'll probably stop and have dinner and stuff. So we'll keep it leisurely, and we'll make sure we have plenty of stops anyway. It'll be fine, I'm sure.
We find the UK like the most arduous.
Yeah, I do as well.
It's quite long and boring.
And we'll share the driving obviously between us. So
that's good. That's good.
Which we can do, so that's good.
That's nice. How much research have you done for Efteling?
In terms of what's there, how do you mean?
The same way we would do it, because I know nothing. Right. I know nothing. The same way we would do it for Disneyland Paris, like have you had to book restaurants? Do you know what rides
Right, okay,
there
so you
are?
can book restaurants, and we have booked a restaurant.
Are there things like fast passes and?
I'm not sure about fast passes, but so there are. It's a very similar thing, I think, really, to DLP in a lot of respects. A bit smaller, they say, but there's a whole fairy tale land which they reckon take you 2.5 hours to go around if you're going to do it all. And that was what the park was originally, I believe, was this whole kind of little fairy tale thing. So everything has like a little staged bit with moving things, and they all tell lots of different fairy tales, and they keep adding to it and keep putting more things in there. So I think we might do a little bit of that, but I don't think we plan to spend a lot of time there because that'll kill a huge portion of our day. The boys aren't bothered about the thrill rides, so we can already kind of discount those for now. So it'll be a focus on a lot of the dark rides and things for us, I think. So we know roughly, we know which rides we want to go on. There's a a kids roller coaster that's like 2 dueling roller coasters called I can't remember, Mountain Mort or something like that. And the boys want to do that, so we'll go and do that, I think, as well. But we're just going to go and take it in our stride and just see what's there. I'm sure we'll come away wishing we'd spent more time there, but I think it'll be okay. Laura's done more research because of the whole celiac thing. So we are now living with 2 of us being celiac and 2 of us not, which is a challenge in itself. It'd be a massive challenge at DLP because it's going to mean completely different experience to what we've had in the past. But for F-telling, Laura found out that that there's a pancake house there that does buckwheat pancakes, so they're all completely gluten free. So we've booked into that restaurant already. We're already planning to eat there, and so that's the meal sorted basically. We're just going to see what happens. I think
We do have a F-telling trip report on the Facebook group. Yeah. Have we got time for that now?
I think that segue was good.
go for it.
Yes.
Should be about 5 minutes.
Should we have some?
Let's have some crisps.
whilst we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's start on those ones.
Okay.
And then I'll try and get through with these hot ones on the... but this is from Charlotte. Hi all, following my previous post, here's a trip report for Efteling, June 2025.
And hold. I'm just going to get out because I'm way too hot in this jumper, so I need to get a shirt.
Okay.
Okay, you do the report, you eat your crisps, I'll be back in a minute. Thank you.
I'm coming back.
Sorry guys, my bad. Fussy fuss.
I'm eating crisps. So these are Pringles smoking barbecue rib flavour. It says they've got 2 chilies on them. I would say it's got about half a chili on them.
That's pathetic.
Yeah. It's not good, is it?
If you like your heat, no, not so good. So I definitely couldn't stick to the 1,000 limit, so it's here instead. Get yourself a cuppa. I think it's all right, but it's in parts. Journey. Drove from Surrey, went via Le Shuttle. Pros, easy journey, good roads. Cons, delayed for over an hour at Le Shuttle, which knocked our timing off a bit for the kids. Antwerp is busy for traffic. It could have been worse, but be prepared for this. It was an extra 40 minutes for us, but on top of the train delay, felt like a long travel day. It looks like they're building a new bridge, so hopefully that helps in future. It took 3 hours 40 minutes from Calais, not including stops, plenty of services on the route.
That's good to know. 3 hours 40 minutes. That's a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be.
How do you pronounce that?
Bosrijk. I would say.
Bosrijk. Stayed in a village house. Village house. I paid extra to choose the house, €25, near restaurant/pool. And for a cot, €15. And high chair, €5. They actually provided 2 cots, 2 high chairs, kids' cutlery, a potty seat, and the bathroom had a kid's step, which was good. So great for the kids. I wonder if you paid extra. I wonder if you had 2 of everything because those things were already there and they thought you needed another.
Maybe.
Bosrijk.
Rake. Bosrijk.
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 House was really lovely, cleverly designed and comfortable. More space than we expected. 3 bedrooms. You get 2 welcome packs, one with washing up liquid and a hand soap, cloths, scrubbing brush and scourer. The other pack has tea bags, coffee pods, an espresso machine, sugar, cream and instant coffee. Kitchen well equipped, but no toaster. Little shop had souvenirs, basic groceries and bakery items, all reasonably priced, even some baby stuff too. We ate at the restaurant for dinner and breakfast, fun especially as usually. You can only get a takeaway breakfast, both delicious with wonderful prices. We ordered pizza one night and we were able to choose a time slot early in the day via the app. Unfortunately, we didn't get time to use the pool, but it was open till 10. Efteling Park.
Efteling Park.
Open 10 till 6 p.m. I think it's until 7 or 8 on weekends. Then July looks like it's 10 till 10.
Yeah, it looks like it's 10 o'clock when we're there.
Yeah. If staying on site, there's a separate path and an entrance to the right. So we can get in 30 minutes early and not queue with the masses, which was great. Wonder Hotel has another entrance at the other end of the park. Probably good because you arrive opposite to everyone else, so I can imagine you could get on a lot of rides. The new hotel looks beautiful and right in the park, with a special entrance being built, opening in August, I believe. Biggest souvenir shop is at the entrance, incredibly busy at the end of the day, lovely and pleasant at 4 p.m.
Tips.
The park is beautiful. Trees and shade everywhere, water everywhere, stunning flowers and lampposts. Music is pumped through via big mushrooms to keep the theming. There are bins everywhere, including the talking ones, so it's spotless.
Yeah, I've seen those. They look cool.
This is sounding more like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Toilets are great, catered to everyone, clean and plenty of them. Enough shops but not too many. Each seems to be catered around a ride or area, which is nice, so you know where to go if you spotted something. They also have Souvenir Express, so you can ask for your purchases to be sent to reception or the front of the park if a day guest at no extra cost.
Can I just remind me, you're doing so many days at the Eurocamp,
Yeah,
Are you-
5 nights.
5 nights. Are you going to Efteling from the Eurocamp, or are you moving to Efteling?
It's
again?
15 minutes away now.
You just do, okay.
I've opened the hot one Pringles.
And
I've just noticed you paid £6 for a pack of Pringles.
they're imported.
Very potted.
Tasty. Not that hot.
Oh, really tasty though.
Not that hot. There's a tingle there. There's a tingle on the tongle.
It's a little bit of me that wants to experience that.
You could
but
try one of these
No.
not so hot ones.
No.
They're hotter than those.
Yeah.
Comfortably hotter than those.
Rides. We did all the rides we wanted to and a few more than once. With 2 very small kiddies, we had to take a lot of breaks for potty, feeds, snacks, etc. So with 3 days in the park, with slightly older kids, it would be more than enough to do at a leisurely pace.
I have enough with my own potty breaks.
Tips. There are quite a few Dutch school trips, but after 3 p.m. they seem to go home. And the park is so quiet and the ride times drop dramatically. Everything is in Dutch, so it helps to have a check on the app or wiki pages as to what's going on. Symbolica is a main ride because it's the theming to the park and its mascot. We didn't do much research on this, and so we were a bit oblivious, but we went along for the ride and really enjoyed it. You have to make a choice, so I believe there are 3 slightly different versions of the ride.
Yes, there are. You choose which one you want of the 3. I can't remember what they are. I've watched a lot of ride-throughs of the rides because I like to spoil things for myself.
You do, don't you? Mm-hmm. Carnival, their small world, I believe they admit to being heavily influenced. Went on this 3 times as our nearly 3-year-old loved it, and it was a walk-on.
Yeah,
It sounds very familiar in every way. Droomvlucht,
Yeah.
Dream Flight.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful language.
This is a gorgeous ferry ride, and the reason we chose this holiday. My earliest ever memory was of this ride when I went as a 5-year-old, and my memory held up. It was magic, and the kids loved it. This was our longest queue of 30 minutes. That's not bad. But if there's a show on next door, Ravlane, I don't know the basics of Dutch. Then the queues go down. I've just checked the app though, and it has a 5-minute queue at 5:30.
That ride looks amazing.
Netherlands time.
I can't even think how to explain it, but in terms of functionality, from what I gather, it's very similar to what Peter Pan's flight is, in that you're not in a boat, but you kind of fly. But there's a bit towards the end where there's like this whole scene going on, and you literally spiral round and down through it all. And there's all fairies and stuff. It looks absolutely superb.
Sounds good.
Roller coasters look good. Great even. My husband and I managed to do Vogel Rock, similar to Space Mountain, but when it was a walk-on. We hoped to do more, but didn't manage it due to the kids and a few rides being closed on the day we were going to try, so longer single rider. There's loads to do for the little ones, and the theming is amazing. We would say the park is best for under 12s, but fun can be had for older ones. How old is Lucas?
Lucas is 12. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of roller coasters though, so there is stuff there for older kids, I would say.
Fairy Tale Forest. This is easily a 2-hour experience, if not more.
There you go.
Every corner has a different fairy tale themed house or animatronic. There's a little blurb in English, and they are more the Grimm/Hans fairy tales and definitely not Disneyfied. It's a beauty spot with many entrances and exits to come in and out of. So my mouth keeps filling with saliva because
Mine's doing the same. They're not hot, but they linger, don't they?
yeah. Perfect for shade and some quiet time. It had hidden gems too, like the donkey who poops gold.
That's Ollie's number one thing. That's what he wants to do while we're at F-telling. He's going to see the
What's
donkey
yours?
that
Is it
poops
the
gold.
Naked King?
No, I'm not bothered about that. I'm assuming the Naked King is the king who's in the All Together, the Emperor's New Clothes, is it? That'd
See,
be my
that's
guess.
one thing that Disney is lacking. There's a distinct lack of poop in the Disney parks.
And Naked Kings.
And nakedness. Nakedness and poop.
Food is everywhere. No closed snack carts or sold out signs around here. The snacks were right up my street. The Dutch like things fried. Donuts, stoop waffles, fries, crisps, soft serve. They have hot snack stations that sell things like chicken nuggets, spring rolls, breaded cheese. And you tap your card and the little hatch opens. These were between €2 to €3, so a great on-the-go pick-me-up. The quick service also had things with actual vegetables and salad, which was lovely. Welcome to brown food. We ate in the pancake restaurant too, which was a lovely experience, and we were
really
lucky. We were lucky to get a great table near the dancing pots and pans. We also had a quick service in Fabula. This is a restaurant with a huge indoor animal-themed play area, which kids of a wide variety loved, whilst parents could enjoy the. What are you laughing at?
It's kids of a wide variety. It wasn't kids of like a wide age range. It's like the variety of kids.
Fancy kids, pirate kids,
Angry kids.
tech kids, evil kids.
Smelly kids.
So, whilst parents could enjoy the ample seating, this is themed to a short film they show next door, which our little one loved. A great place for shade and a rest. I noticed gluten-free stuff at breakfast where we stayed, but didn't specifically notice in other areas, as in forgot to look. Sorry, Chris.
Chris will fill us in on this in 4 weeks' time, won't you?
I will. I can. Yeah, I absolutely will.
Compares to Disney, our 4 nights / 5 days at Bosrijk was around €260 cheaper than 4/5 at Davy Crockett in September. But if we'd booked it earlier, it would have been more of a €500 difference. The quality of the house was much higher. It was a short walk to the park, and we didn't have to faff with the car or parking. The journey was quicker and easier to Disney. The theming is exceptional at both. More rides at Disney, but Efteling didn't feel lacking for us. It also made up some walkthroughs and 4 or 5 good play areas for kids, which were all open. I missed the parade at Disney. It's absolutely magical, and nothing compares. They did have a character meet and greets, but my little one wasn't bothered at all, whereas he loved the Disney ones, as did I.
Yeah, they're not known characters. I think that's the issue. It's
Like, do you want
their
to meet some talking frog?
Jester. Is a jester.
The Aqua Evening Show was brilliant, but not quite the same as Disney fireworks and drones. We watched the main show and 2 little kid shows, and they were sweet, and the main show was good, but it was completely in Dutch, so hard to follow, and just not on the Disney level. This is not a dig at the Dutch, as they do not need to cater to English, but the odd thing or sentence would have helped to follow. The staff were amazing, so friendly, they made us feel so welcome and comfortable, no judgmental eyes, feeding / potty training, and that was really appreciated and at times quite different from France. We also felt very safe, as did our stuff. Never left anything of value on the pram, but which was nice, as I haven't always felt like that at Disney.
Really? I am surprised.
The app is brilliant, and the GPS and Wi-Fi work well, so you can actually follow the directions. The queue times are also accurate. I found Disney to struggle here sometimes, or pump them up, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They try and
Put you off.
manipulate where you are in the park sometimes.
People brought in full coolers and wagons. There were lots of seating, especially in the shade, which I thought was brilliant, where Disney can lack. Disney will always be my number one, but it's nice to try something different, and I grew up going to lots of different European theme parks, so it was lovely taking my family. We also got some freebies, not expected, but a nice surprise. Sandman hats from our little house. Little fairy tale book from our house, exchanged at reception for an English one. Sandman plates from our kids' pizza order. Fabula plate from kids' meal. Noughts and crosses from Pancake Restaurant with kids' pancake. If you order the magic water for €3, you get a light-up glass you can keep. Regret not getting it.
Interesting.
That was a super long trip report and not at all succinct. So well done if you made it this far. And do let me know if you have any questions. We are thinking of booking again next year with a short trip on the way and back to break up the journey. Also hoping to do DLP in 2027 and Walt Disney World in 2029. Thank you, Charlotte.
Fantastic. That was really useful because I don't know anything about Efteling, but I do feel the need, because we're a Disneyland Paris podcast, to just say to people who don't know, Efteling, as you probably figured out, is an alternative theme park that is situated in the Netherlands, highly themed, and a destination in its own right. However, it's not as famous as Disney. It doesn't have the brand recognition of Disney, so you might want to know about that.
Yes.
Yes.
My brother went this year, and with his twins and other daughter, who isn't a twin, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. They had a really good time. And also, someone was telling me, it might have been on the group, I can't remember, you'll tell me if it was you, that apparently Walt Disney visited there before Disneyland California opened, because it actually opened in 1950 something.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
before Disneyland opened. So yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say it influenced him, but but there you go. Interesting.
It's definitely on our list at some point, but then everything's on our list and our bank balance just doesn't support our wish to travel, unfortunately, but it will one day and it'll be fine. There was something I was going to say about that. Oh, I was going to ask you.
No,
Have
absolutely not.
Have you requested a new cabin for David Crockett Ranch?
I haven't, for the simple reason that when I went to look, they weren't available. So I'm assuming
Okay.
they're sold out
Okay.
already. But in all honesty, I went and looked maybe a month or so ago to see, because there was a deal on, wasn't there, where you got £100 in a voucher or something if you booked at a certain point in time. So I went to look if it was worth me effectively rebooking, and it was going to cost like an extra £500 or £600. So I don't think it was worth doing it, in all honesty. So we'll stick with the old one, and it'll be fine.
That's cool.
The heat on these does build the more you have. But still to a manageable amount. If you like your spice like we do, this would take Lucy's face off.
Oh.
Well, I say that, but
No, it would.
No, it
she
wouldn't.
wouldn't. She wouldn't like these other ones.
no, the weak ones. You sure you don't want a weak one?
No.
I'll lick the flavour off for you.
No. Okay, I'm going to quickly run through with Chris. Bearing in mind we've got nine minutes, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask for fairly succinct things.
Very good.
I love
The news from the last 2 weeks. So if you've no thoughts, just say nothing to say on that.
Yeah,
you
cool.
don't have to say anything.
Good.
Or you can
This-
ramble on for 8 minutes.
Yeah. June the 26th was 626 Day, meaning it was
It only
Stitch
makes sense
Day.
in America.
Right, cool.
That's my response to that.
Okay.
626 is American. It's not anywhere else in the world, so it doesn't work. It's not like May the 4th be with you,
No.
because that works. That doesn't work.
Agreed. Okay.
I like Stitch, but that doesn't work. Carry on.
Jim Shaw, who does the patchwork figurines, is
Don't
signing
care.
things. Right, good. Dream,
Although I thought it sounded interesting, I enjoyed your conversation about it, but don't care. Carry on.
Dream Factory's reopening.
That's great, isn't it?
Yes.
They're going to be different characters, though. You were saying.
Yes.
This is quick fire.
And they've
I
got rid of the junior branding.
I don't mind that too much, because I think a giant vampirine is a bit weird.
True. Summer sales.
Great.
Yeah. Money off merch.
Hates it.
Yeah. Pride. They had the Pride events. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
They had rainbow confetti and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Cars.
And yes, it was all right. It looked good.
And then we had a very, I didn't put this on the news, but we had a discussion about the marriage man.
The marriage man.
The marriage man.
Oh, the marriage man.
You heard the marriage
Yes.
man, the marriage man, the marriage man.
this again.
Yeah, I thought you were very brave to tackle that conversation.
I didn't know if we were going to.
Actually,
I think we had to.
Yeah.
I listened to the podcast
big
backwards. So I listened to last week's one first, then the week before, and then the week
It
before.
sounded trippy.
And so when you talked about it then, I thought, why didn't you talk about it the week before? But because I think I was getting my dates all mixed up and got myself very confused about it all. But yeah, weird that, isn't it?
Is this cheese hot?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Because it's hard to tell once you've had one thing.
Go on,
how
cook me
hot
a bit
the
and
other one is.
I'll see.
But
I
it's
thought
very,
it was pretty hot.
it's very. How do you describe this texture?
Fudgy.
Yeah, it's very wet for a cheese. Sure, I don't want a little tiny piece, Lucy. Just this. Because you love cheese.
What type of cheese is it?
Chili.
No. What type of cheese is it? It's got chili in it.
A cheddar, I would say.
It's a
It
cheddar,
is spicy, and it's hitting me straight away.
I can see a big bit of red in there. I don't think I'll be happy if I have that.
I will.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's spicy.
Okay. Donut stand.
The new donuts that are basic donuts are apparently better. That's what DLP reports say.
I read that.
Yeah.
So sorry, they had 5 very highly decorated character donuts, and now they've just released another 5 that just look quite donutty with sprinkles, and apparently they taste really good. But the
The other ones-
character ones don't taste good, but they're very Instagrammable.
I mean, good, great donuts, brilliant.
Yeah. Cool.
That's what I think about that.
Even the worst donut is okay.
No, right, donut, yeah. And I don't agree with
Still a donut.
with Susie. She's wrong about donuts. and the Greg's custard donut is possibly one of the best donuts out there.
I used to love getting one of those.
You see, donuts to me are just a 3-star snack. They're fine. They're just 3-star snack.
It's 5 from me.
Pass Perk Party.
Passport party.
It's the annual Pass Party.
Yeah.
And it's a Disney Starlight Night, and it is now sold out, by the way.
When is it? September 12th?
September the 12th.
So the thing that I thought about this when I was listening to you talk about this was, do we think, because of what it is, and it's like saying a farewell to the studios, etc., as it was, and ringing in what's to come, that they're going to get to see stuff that hasn't happened yet, if that makes sense. So it could be quite an exciting thing on top of
Do you think there's going to be
when things
previews?
go by. I just wondered,
Yeah.
maybe they'll let them walk with hard hats. I don't know do
I
that.
I also wonder now you've said that if they, because they have to set up a load of shenanigans for these events.
Yeah.
If they're going to couple it with a press event, which will be separate from the annual pass party, but the fact that they've got shenanigans set up means it's a good time to like open the conference suite and have a press event and then do a walk at the park.
Yes.
Good point. Because we're getting there now.
We are getting there.
Getting
And
there.
not to talk about DLP report again, but they do put stuff on pretty much every day. They keep showing new bits of path that have finished and little bits that are done. It's moving at pace these days.
Ripon's spin thing has
Yeah.
got a purple roof on this
It
week.
has, yeah.
All that jazz.
I just caught sight of the way I eat Pringles on screen, and I apologise to everyone who's had to see me eat them like that.
Hugh, I have a friend called Lewis who I used to live with for a little while, and he used to get crackers and cheese, and he would literally make me crackers with cheese. I was just wondering whether you would make me
Oh yeah,
Pringles with cheese on.
with extra hot.
No, I think with the normal one, just not to kick it too far to start
Okay.
with. Carry on.
Do you want it a sandwich or do you want just a bit of cheese on top?
Just a bit of cheese on top. Be delightful, thank you.
It's really
spread it.
quite a challenge to simultaneously host two podcasts. One that is a chili appreciation society and the other one that is a
One of the things
Disney
that's particularly great about this is that they can't see any of it either. Like, it's all very visual.
show. No, I just have to smell it.
Carry on.
Cabins in the Woods. Right, new looking floor plan for David Crocker Ranch. Oh,
They look great. I'm going to take pictures of the curtains for you.
bookings starting on September the 1st. That's why you couldn't book it.
Okay, yeah, because it was going to be available from July, wasn't it? But they didn't say what dates they were going to be available to book from, to book out from, if that makes sense.
No.
Big Thunder Mountain is open.
Yes, woo. Big Thunder Mountain's open. That's great.
Right, and then this is the last week that you weren't here for.
Okay.
As in the first week that you weren't here for, because I'm going in reverse order. A sweet Agrabar Cafe is doing that pause gourmand thing in the little seated area. Did you see this?
Yeah, look, my view on this is that the price seemed a little bit excessive, but at the same time, I like baklava.
I know
and
you
stuff,
do.
and that all appealed to me.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty good, and I think if you were gonna go get yourself a drink, the drinks cost like €6 to €8 anyway, don't they? I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was all right, and I might fancy it. I'd probably spend my money on other stuff. Did we not talk about that one?
This is all stuff we've done.
No, but I mean, Chris was here.
I thought I was there when we talked about
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
We're going back to when he was
So
here.
maybe we're back to that week. All right. I came round to the price. You talked me round to the price. I still think they looked unacceptably sad on that plate.
it. It did look sad. I agree with that. One of the things that you did talk about either last week or the week before was which restaurant you should go and eat at next time you go. And you very quickly dismissed the Royal Pub. I want you to know that we plan to eat at the Royal Pub when we go because it has a gluten-free menu. So we know full well that Laura and Ollie can go and get bangers and potatoes, for instance, and that'll do them. It's a proper meal they can have. So we do plan to go and eat there.
You might come back and tell us it's incredible.
I don't expect that to happen. But the fact that they've got that available, I think, is good. So
It'll be good to know, and it's a good option then. But I feel sad for people who are gluten free that they have to eat in the worst restaurant. Have you looked at Annette's? Do Annette's do anything?
not particularly.
Annette's was the one years ago that had a massive hoo-ha for serving someone a microwave meal without taking the plastic off, who was gluten free.
Was that Annette's, Diane's? Annette's.
I think that was at Annette's, yeah.
So Laura's found an app recently called Find Me Gluten Free, and
That sounds like how you would start a letter. Hello. My darling, you find me gluten-free and in great health.
but if you put Disneyland Paris in there, it'll tell you other people's experience of it, and it gives you a rating for how the service was and stuff. But it also gives you a rating for how they manage the gluten free. So it's giving us a really good indication of what some of the places will be like for us, which is great. So we're starting to use that, and she's also used. I know I talked about it when it was just me and Lucas doing the show 6 weeks ago, whenever it was. But she's also joined the group, and I have as well, gluten-free Disneyland Paris, or Disneyland Paris gluten-free for gluten-free. Oh, I think it's gluten-free Disneyland Paris, I think what it's called, on Facebook. And that's really good because people put their experiences on there and everyone's kind of sharing the information. However, some people go on there and get really arsy about the fact that the chip ban keeps running out of chips and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
and I think we're in a better position than those people because we're going there with no expectations whatsoever and lots of packets of gluten-free pasta. And we'll just, if we can't find stuff, we'll just make our own food later on and just deal with it.
Okay, there's also not a Facebook group gone wild that hasn't turned into people moaning about
No, you're absolutely right there.
petty nonsense at some point.
You could not be more...
Anyone
right.
who is in a neighbourhood Facebook group will know how quickly those things go south. So that's
Yes.
inevitable.
I put a bit of a jerky comment on ours today, and then I deleted it after about half an hour. And it was a family doing that thing. They do this. Don't know if your not local group does this, but our neighbours love to tell us just that they're having a party, and they'll use any excuse to be like, "Oh yeah, we're having a party." So we start to get messages saying, "Just to let you all know, we're having a party. We'll try and keep the noise to inside the house, and you shouldn't be able to hear the music." And you're like, "Well, why are you telling us then?" But what actually happens is they disregard all that. There was teenagers thrown up in a bush outside a few weeks ago. Music going on way past when they said it was going on, and they put that on there just so they can go, "Well, we did say." So either don't tell us if you're going to be quiet, because why would you need to, or don't lie. You know,
Yeah.
don't say we're going to try and keep the noise down and make zero attempt to keep the noise down.
Can
like-
you see what I live with?
No, but like, it's
He's
this,
right, though.
It's this
He is
immature like thing where people go, "Oh, we're having a party and everyone must know." Like, it's not that cool to have a party. Everyone does it all the time. You don't have to announce it. Grow up. Good night, everyone. Should we go now?
This has been a public service broadcast.
So all those
by
people
Hugh
that
Ray.
were needing some cheering up today, I've just ruined it all at the end.
I'm just going to, before we do say goodbye, because there has been some good stuff in the chat and I just want to catch up, and then yeah, we'll say goodbye. Sarah went and put her little girl to bed, so she's missed a bit of the podcast, and she's come back to tell us that they have, she says, golf annual passes. I presume it's gold annual passes. So they've got cheaper tickets for the
Swing and a
other
miss.
two through our passes that have just started again for friends and family. They're staying. We asked her earlier about booking a last minute trip. She says they're staying in Ceres. Flights weren't terrible at short notice, but not amazing. Booked the firework viewing area for the first time. Went when it was part of the Infinity Pass, but not paid since. Took peak anyway. And booked Plaza Character Dinner. So you're still able to book Plaza Character Dinner even at short notice. That's all good stuff to know.
That's good.
Louise C says, "I'm here. We'll catch up in the week." Good to know, Louise. Enjoy it. If you've got this far, well done. John Parker says, "Is there an EMT tonight, guys? No worries if not."
No, I've blobbed on you. I'm sorry. It's entirely my fault. I'm just shattered, and so I'm not doing the MT tonight. I apologise. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
Okay. To return next week. Hilda, Most Magical Guides, has done a vlog on a Nets vegan but not gluten-free that I can recall. If you're vegan, that's another dietary requirement worth looking into. Ruthie, the options for gluten-free at DLP are generally sad. Well, this is what we're going to get a full report on pretty soon.
It's popcorn and marshmallows, I think, pretty much.
Oh, no.
It's not great. We've seen that with everywhere that we've looked, but we're going to go and see what we can find and see what we can do. There are, however, worth pointing out, there's an Italian restaurant in Val d'Europe that does gluten-free pasta and does gluten-free pizza dough. There is a...
Does Vapiano's not do the gluten-free pasta?
Don't think so, no.
Really?
There's a pancake place outside of Val d'Europe that does vegetarian, and we're planning on going... vegetarian does gluten-free, we're planning on going and eating there because it's been very much recommended. Yeah, so we'll be fine. We're only there for 3 days, and we've got our own kitchen, so
That's
we'll manage. We did think about like getting breakfast and all that sort of stuff, but the thing is, with celiac, we've got to be so careful about cross-contamination that anything that's a buffet really is off limits. I know it isn't necessarily off limits for other people, but for us it really is. So I know they'll give us some sealed out items and things, and that would be great, but it just ends up being a lot of money for quite a limited...
And there's a big difference between gluten intolerance and celiac disease, isn't there?
There is.
So, yeah. So if you
There's
just...
so many different levels of gluten-free, whether it's intolerance, allergies...
Sensitivities.
And so on. So it's a difficult area to tread to give DLP some...
I think people with IBD or Crohn's can do it because it's a bit more easy on the guts.
Yeah.
I tried it for a bit and it was interesting.
But obviously, if you do have it, it won't have any ill effects, really. It's just a positive effect to not have it. Do you know what I mean? Which is different. So you could do a buffet and avoid the gluten, whereas you really, like you say, the slightest crumb falls on your plate.
With both Ollie and Laura, we don't know what immediate impact it would have on them if that happened. All we really know for if it doesn't affect him through your stomach being bad, through him feeling sick or whatever it might be, we might not find anything out until the next time he goes and has a blood test in a year's time if things aren't going in the right direction and things aren't right. So it's just difficult to know the best way to manage it. And we've been a little bit lax, well not lax, but we've been okay to try things up to now where there's some risk of cross contamination, but we tend to watch how people are dealing with it. And I think a majority of places in the UK, people are all right. And if we find somewhere and we try it and it's rubbish, we will not do it again. But yeah, it's challenging, isn't it? It's challenging.
It's also an education for you at this point.
I just looked this up as well, Ruth, a bit. Ruth was saying Vapiano's has risotto, Coelex can have, but nothing else. And I've also I forgot to mention, we've got like badges and things in the chat now, and John's proudly wearing a number 1 crown.
Yeah.
Next to the name there.
Vapiano's in London, I had courgette, which must be gluten free, but maybe they don't do it in Paris.
Courgette's nice. It also depends on how if it's fried, for instance, and it's fried in somewhere that's had flour in it. All that sort of stuff.
Fair enough.
All
Right.
that.
Okay, guys. I think that's brought us to the end of our time together for today. So there's no extra magic time this time, but I will make up for it next week by
There's been a
writing
7-minute longer show here.
There has. I will make up for it next week by writing you guys a quiz.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's look forward to that.
And then you've got 2 weeks without me again after that.
I know.
Oh, I might be a bit drunk next week.
Oh, good. You all get to experience drunk Hugh.
I don't have to be drunk, but we're going to a barbecue for our local theatre thing. But you're not, and you're not, so just me. But the bar is open. I'm not bragging. Just saying. I'm just warning you.
When he met, he's told this very chill thing about him meeting Eddie Redmayne. He actually tapped him on the shoulder and then sang empty chairs at empty tables to him. And I'm convinced beer had something to do with that.
I'd had one beer. I'd been singing it all day because I thought, because I know... I had reason to suspect he might be at this party. And I'd been singing it all day, so I thought, great, I've got an in. So when I saw him, I said, excuse me, you'll never guess what I've been singing all day. And he said, what's that? And I went, there's a grief that can't be spoken. And he went, oh, no way. And I went, yeah. Anyway, have a great night. And my name's Hugh. Have a great night.
Walk up to Eddie Redmayne and start singing, you maniac.
And then he said, well, there was a look of terror at first. You know when you go, like, you'll never guess what I've been singing. And he was like, but what? And then it was that.
Okay.
I love the thought.
He was very nice, though. He was very nice about it.
Thank you guys very much for being here. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I pressed the button, but I didn't press it hard enough. I pressed it now. It's going off. It's going to go.